They call it Murphy's Law when everything that can go wrong does. And in those moments, what can we do? A new book helps to tackle the unexpected things in life, and it does so in an unexpected way by speaking to children and people of all ages with a perspective that we can take on our journey. Joining us are creators of the book, When Things Aren't Going Right, Go Left. We have New York Times #1 best-selling author and illustrator Peter Reynolds, along with author and film producer Mark Cagliovanni. Welcome to the both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to be connected in warm California. We're here in, well, I hope it's warm again.
Yeah.
It's cold here in Boston.
Yeah, definitely not as cold here in California. So thank you for joining us. I wanted to start off with you, Mark. Tell us about the book and what your inspiration was to create it.
Well, the inspiration was my children. They inspire me every day. But specifically for this book, experiencing what they went through during the pandemic, especially the distance learning portion of it. That was a very challenging time in my family, in my house. My kids were 10, 8, and 8. And I never realized until then that children can experience at a very deep level worries, fears, frustrations, and doubts. So it was heartbreaking to watch, but it was also a little bit of a blessing because it really opened up my eyes to start paying a little more attention to what was going on.
Yeah, and Mark, I understand that you came to the project as an unpublished author of children's book and practicing attorney by day. What was it like to team up with Peter Reynolds? How did you two come to meet and ultimately collaborate?
Well, it was surreal. It's still surreal. I'm still processing it, to be honest with you. Peter is just a legend in this industry. He is a brilliant creator, and to be honest, he's even a better person. I'm just as grateful to have his illustrations as I am his friendship. And we met through a serendipitous encounter in his bookstore called the Blue Bunny Bookstore in Dedham, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I have a bookstore, opened it 20 years ago, and it's a gathering place in our downtown, just outside of Boston. And Mark came through the door, and we had a cup of coffee together, and I got to get to know this amazing human being, and he shared a few stories with me, and I said, Mark, you have got to share your voice with the world. So I'm very happy that I was able to do that.
Oh,
I was happy he was helped me do it.
Yeah, I love that. And Mark, apparently this was an atypical route to get a first book published. How did that work?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Oh, I was saying this was an atypical route to get a first book published. How did that work?
I didn't.
Yeah. So atypical, yes. This was not the typical route to get a book published, because normally you have to contact publishers and agents. And Mark came to me, and I said, Mark, one of his poems, The Reflection of Me, made for a very good animated film. We made an animated film first, so we got Mark's story out there through animation, and it traveled the world in animation festivals, then YouTube. And then we caught the attention of one of my publishers, Scholastic. They agreed with me that it was a really amazing story. And so Mark took a little go left strategy and went left on this story. And I'm really glad he did, because this book is for all ages, by the way. It's helpful for me, too, because, been a challenging few years for all of us. And this book really helped me.
Yeah.
It was definitely a different approach to go into the bookstore of a very famous author and illustrator and ask him to read something that I wrote. So it was an unusual path, but it worked.
Yeah, and Peter, what was it about Mark's manuscript that spoke to you?
It was from his heart. He has 3 beautiful children, and everything that he has written has been for them and inspired by them. And I really felt that. It was very authentic. And I also felt like, the world needed this story. It needed to heal. And I'm a busy guy. I have a lot of projects of my own. But I said to Mark, I want to be the one to illustrate your words. So it was an absolute honor and delight.
Oh, I love that. And Peter, what drew you to the picture book format, and more specifically, what led you to creating picture books for all ages? Like you had mentioned, it's for everyone.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we adults are busy people, and we got a lot on our plate. And You know, there's a lot of great books out there, but they tend to be big, thick books. And a picture book is a lovely format because, you know, within a 5 to 6 minute read, you are delivered a very powerful message. The other lovely thing about picture books is that you share them, right? And when you read aloud, you're usually sharing with someone young, but both people benefit, right? The child and the person who reads it, whether it's the teacher or the parent or the older brother or sister, everyone's going to benefit. And this story really is I think it's a classic. I loved it the minute I read it, and I said so many people are going to relate to this book, and hopefully it will help you achieve your dream.
Yeah.
Not get slowed down by the burdens.
Well, we're excited for families to read this book. Mark and Peter, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You can get your copy of When Things Aren't Going Right, Go Left, wherever books are sold.